Where is Delta Force on console? Turn the volume up, let's talk about it. Delta Force was delayed on console about 3 or 4 months ago now. It was quite a while, and the developers did promise some news, some updates as they went along, a bit more of a roadmap, and it's been bupkis. There's been nothing on console. A lot of people were a bit perplexed, I think, in the Western world, why a game would launch on mobile and not console first. If you look at Southeast Asia, there's a huge population of mobile players there. And obviously the developer here comes from China, so it makes a lot of sense to me, at least, to make sure that you're collecting the bag there, because it'd be, oh my lord, they'll be printing money if you get a game published on that side of the world, because just the population base, there's just so many people compared to, like, you know, Australia and America and England. When you go to Southeast Asia. Yeah, boy howdy. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people there. What's going on with console? So it's a little all over the shop. They recently brought out controller support for their, like, Battlefield ripoff part of the game. They didn't get it on the extraction shooter side of things. So that originally wasn't even going to happen. The developers mentioned that they were going to have full controller support on PC when it comes out on console. So I have a feeling that was like a testing phase. That's why it's not out on everything. And obviously, like, I think one of the biggest hurdles was getting controller to work on the menus itself in the extraction shooter, because be able to loot someone quickly against someone that plays on PC, it's going to be very difficult. Whether you're allowed to play with people on PC, if they go a route of just, like, console only, and then they have, like, a PC version of it, that might be the way they kind of segregate things. But they've had a few problems in the development. I've really dug through a lot on the internet in regards to this, so what I can gather is that right now there's an issue on, or at least, maybe not right now. What I can gather doing my sleuthing is that there was an issue, or there is an issue, on the PlayStation side of things. It's something to do with the ray tracing, but they're unable to get that to work right now, or at least that was the case about a month ago. A lot of people that are insiders or content creators or partnered content creators for Delta Force have kind of been all over the place with dates. Roast Smith, who's a newer one, he was sort of saying towards the end of the year, but recently he's come out with a tweet to say, or an X, or whatever you call it nowadays, that this is and shows video of it being tested on an Xbox, and it could be out in Season 5, which is July 9th, and it has the eyeball emoji. Whether that's true or not, a little bit of false news just to get a bit of hype going, that's remained to be seen, but it has got me thinking about everything, that I think they are a lot closer to console than not. A lot of their AI-generated content on, there's a few, like, YouTube channels called, like, Delta Force Updates and things like that, and it's AI-driven, and it's definitely from the makers of Delta Force. It seems to point to that console is sooner rather than later. So a lot of people in the community were saying late this year. I've noticed that narrative shift is now to probably Q2, Q3, towards the end of Q2, start of Q3. So maybe the end of summer. It could even be July. The way I think it's going to work is, if it is soon, if it is in July that this is going to come out in consoles, my guess is it will only be on Xbox to start off with, and then it will progress to PlayStation. Whether that includes Xbox One, Xbox Series X, don't know, because this is also coming out on the older gen of consoles too, which is kind of interesting. I guess, you know, might as well get the whole market if you're putting it on there. So that is something to look out for. That we should be getting some more news here. I just think that if it was really coming out in July 9th, they did release Season 5 information already. I think that was 2 days ago. I have a feeling they would have mentioned it on that, unless they're still figuring out whether they do want to go live with it, or figuring out internally how it's all going to work. So it might be real fly-by-wire whether they get it in on time or not. The mobile release did coincide with the last season, so I mean that's kind of what they like to do. I think a lot of games like to at least put the seasons close to each other. I think PUBG has them about 4 days separate between console and PC. So yeah, I mean we'll see. We'll see, right? Like there's a fair bit of information. There's a fair bit to shift through here. There's a lot of fake information, but yeah, we haven't really got much on consoles from the actual developers itself. But yeah. Other news with Delta Force is just if you do have a PC, be careful streaming this right now, because they have been starting to ban people or give you copyright strikes. Because I think there's some automatic thing in the background where it's falsely flagging that you're playing the Chinese version, not the global version, and it's affecting a lot of creators. So be a little bit careful. I think it seems to be a lot of people that maybe speak slightly negative of the game seem to get a copyright strike. It's funny how that seems to happen. It's pretty wild. If you talk negative of this game, a lot of comments come out just outright defending it when it clearly does have like some problems. Like it does, in Steam it's rated as mixed. A lot of people, they do have a cheating problem. I know that lately they've even referenced it themselves, so you can't say this isn't happening. But people have been able to edit the files in the background to make the game a bit easier for them, like highlights enemies a bit bigger or gets rid of cover so you can see through things. Downgrades trees, makes enemies bigger so you can just see them from a greater distance. So that's a bit of a concern if that's possible. Thankfully, I play in console, so we see a lot of this less. But yeah, something to just keep an eye out and just be worried on. But yeah, it's a bit weird without the lack of news. I have a feeling like if I'm going to put my business hat on and get behind, where I would have been if a launch. I'm not from the gaming industry, but I've worked in multiple businesses where launches and products have been delayed, and you kind of speculate why. I think they've probably been close a few times, and then there's been like one issue that's kind of delayed it a month, and then they've gone, all right, we'll go this month, and then there's another issue, and there's another little thing, and I think it's just blown out. All these little things have added up to one big, all these little things have added up to be something bigger. So we'll see, right? It's interesting that some of the content creators are saying it's quite soon. Whether that is just to get a bit more hype train around it, and it's kind of like, hey, can you hype this up? But really, it's coming out here. Or there might be an announcement on July 9th for the consoles. But yeah, I've just noticed that some of the content creators are just starting to just drop these little Easter eggs that it might be coming. And I don't think Delta Force has it 100% fixed or sorted when they're going to release it yet. But they might be hopeful for that. But I do think if it is soon, it might be Xbox only. If it is that, like, the things that there's a few developers that mention things on Discord, and there's a fair bit of speculation if I drive through the weeds that sort of suggest there's some sort of issue on PlayStation with this game, or the port over from PC at least. So whether that is substantiated or not, I can only go on rumors and speculation at this point. But I just thought it was interesting. It's time to probably put out a video just with a bit of an update, because I am interested in this coming out on console. My brother hates this game. He's on PC, and he really dislikes it. He can't really tell me why. I think he just gets in that. Like I said, it has really mixed reviews in Steam, and he just seems that it's a Battlefield clone. He doesn't really like the extraction shooter side of it, and he just says there's a lot of cheaters that play it. So, I'm curious to see what it's going to be like. It'll be very interested to see how it's all going to play, like whether it's going to be console only or console players have to play against PC. That's going to be very interesting if that is the case, just because the skill cap is already pretty high when you think about it, and then going to be console players playing it for the first time against PC players that have been playing this for a long time, so the skill gap's going to be even greater. Usually in shooters, it's much easier to play on PC, but especially when you add on 2 years of experience where I know where everything is and you don't, it's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. But we'll see. Like, that's, again, all speculative. We don't know how it's all going to work. So we'll see how that all goes. Anyway, that is the whole video. If you did make it this far, hit the subscribe button. It really does help us out, even just from a motivation standpoint. We're a new little channel, and we're trying our best here. We're trying to put out some goodish content. We're usually making videos a day. At least a day, a lot of news, game reviews. We're starting with some retro content, which is just my brother and I making fun of games and just having a laugh. So those will be out pretty shortly. Comment down below. Are you excited for the game? Are you speculative? Do you think I'm wrong with a release date? Am I close? Am I there? Hit the like button as well, because algorithm gonna algorithm, and I like the algorithm. I think I have to like it, right? Because otherwise, they're not going to suggest my video to anyone, and then I'll get like one view and it'll be my mum. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to edit this up. I'm going to cut this up. Probably make a video on Splitgate as well tonight. We'll see how we get on. It's Friday afternoon, so yeah, I might do a bit of something tonight. But I don't really think I've got a packed day tomorrow. I'm seeing the new Wes Anderson movie, going for a hike, take the missus out, take the wife out for a good breakfast. So that's me. But yeah, why am I talking about this? I always just rattle through things. Yeah, anyway, that's me. I'm going to add this up. So I'm out of here. Bye.